be easy, be good, don't upset anyone, don't ask for too much, don't be difficult, keep the peace. Maybe that helped kind of once. Maybe it made us more manageable, more acceptable, more liked, and it kept things calm. And it helped us feel safe, right? But later in life, that same kind of pattern can be a bit of a trap because nice is not always honest. Nice is not always strong. Sometimes nice just means you've become very good at censoring or swallowing yourself. You keep things smooth, you avoid awkward conversation, you go along, you stay easy to live with, easy to work with, easy to lean on. And underneath all of it is this sort of quiet hope that somehow it'll pay off, that being patient, helpful, accommodating, just low maintenance will sort of come back to you as love, respect, appreciation, desire. You'll have peace. All of this sort of restraint is building credit with life. And I think a lot of men live like that, not just in relationships, at work too, with family, with mates, leadership, definitely. They take on more than they want to. They say yes when they mean no. They stay vague when they should be clear. Over-giving, over-accommodating, and then quietly feel flat, overlooked, or sort of resentful when it doesn't get noticed or repaid. And that's where I think we need to be honest. A lot of the time, the issue isn't that we're too kind. It's that we're too indirect. We want something, we don't say it. We need something, we don't ask. We feel something, we don't reveal it. And let's be honest about why. A lot of men stay unclear because being clear is risky. If you say what you really want, someone may not like it. If you draw a line, someone might push back. If you stop being endlessly accommodating, the arrangement might change. And yes, let's just say it clearly. Sometimes the fear is if you really tell the truth, you might lose things, right? You might lose her. You might lose the peace. You might lose the setup. You might lose the version of that relationship or the friendship or the job or the family dynamic that only works because you keep swallowing what's real. That's the fear. And I get it. A lot of men are not vague because they have no wants. It's bullshit. They're vague because they do have wants. And they're terrified that if they speak plainly, they'll find out where they really stand. So instead, they stay nice. Not always because they're deeply virtuous. Sometimes nice feels safer than honest. But this is important. I'm not blaming women for that, or partners, or wives, or anyone else for failing to read us better. This is not about other people failing to decode us. This is about us being clearer, because nobody can honor an expectation that you never had the courage to state. And no, before anyone asks, this isn't me doing a post-match review of my own relationship. We communicated plenty, bro. Fuck, we communicated heaps. So, and truthfully, guys, if every topic I spoke about was just a coded version of my own life, it'd be so fucking boring and it'd get repetitive real quickly. I'm more interested in the patterns than the personal play-by-play for me. I'm not making my life as a template here, I promise you. I'm not telling anyone to do what I did. I'm not advocating for blowing up relationships at all. I'm advocating for just earlier honesty. Look, I still believe in responsibility. I still believe in sacrifice. I still believe in being capable. That matters. But sacrifice only stays clean when it's freely chosen. The moment it becomes like an unspoken kind of trade, I think you're down the wrong path. It starts to rot the relationship. Then it's no longer generosity. It's like silent bargain, if that makes sense. And that's where resentment grows. Because the truth is, a lot of people stay in patterns for years, decades. Not because they're deeply happy, because the familiar feels safer than honesty. At work, at home, in marriages, in friendships, families. They keep the arrangement, keep the role, keep the peace on the surface. But over time, they lose something too. They lose clarity, they lose self-respect, they lose the ability to be properly known. So when I say maybe we shouldn't be so nice all the time, I'm not saying become cruel. I'm not saying become selfish or cold or aggressive. Maybe the opposite of nice isn't cruel. Maybe it's honest. Maybe it's clear. Maybe it's having the courage to say, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. This works for me. This matters to me. This isn't enough for me. That's not selfish. I think that's adult. A mature man doesn't make people guess what matters to him. He says it clearly, not like a bully, not like a victim, just clearly. And yes, that clarity may cost you something. Someone may not like it. Something may shift. You may lose an arrangement. But it only worked because you were silent. That's still cleaner than spending years quietly frustrated that people didn't repay a debt they never agreed to. So, no, I don't think the answer is for men to become harder. I think a lot of men need to become clearer. Be decent, be responsible, be capable of sacrifice, but be direct, because the problem isn't kindness, it's indirectness. And a lot of men need to become less generous. They need to become more honest about what they want and brave enough to risk the answer.